This is the worst episode, I think. This is the worst episode, I think. What is up, guys? This is the Lounge Podcast, episode 5, broadcasting live from MIT Quiet Hours in the MIT dormitories. Today we have a very special episode for you guys, in the sense that it is not special at all. Hopefully you guys are fucking with our new intro music. It's on episode 4 as well. Today we have with us here Mike,
Gokul,
Ben,
Niko, and Burke.
So the whole crew is back in business. We just want to give a quick reminder to you guys before we start here today. We're now available on YouTube, so go subscribe there. There will be clips posted there. If you don't like the brevity of these episodes, they should be much shorter, like 10 minutes in length. Us discussing just a single subject or a multitude of subjects. Tell your friends to listen. Share this with your friends. Share it on social media. We're available on Instagram at @thelounge_podcast. You can DM us questions there, and they'll be featured on the show, as was seen last episode with our main discussion. So I'm going to kick today's episode off with a very steaming hot take for the boys to digest. It's very simple. Thanksgiving is the greatest holiday of our time. What do you think about that?
Why do you say that? What's your reasoning?
Because it's unequivocally the best.
Why is it better than Christmas?
Alright, so I think the popular opinion would be Christmas. But Christmas, there's the stress of gifts and all this, etc. It's just too much hype.
Too much hype. Isn't that what people like, though? Isn't that what makes the holiday special?
I think you were telling me earlier, though, like, the stress of getting everyone gifts is, takes away from it.
Also, I don't really like receiving gifts either.
That's true. Like, either you don't like it and you have to act like you do.
Or I guess, you also have to, match up your present with whatever you receive, too. I guess.
Yeah, there's so many factors that go into it.
Yeah, some Sheldon Cooper vibes.
Why, do you guys all think Christmas is the best?
Not necessarily.
Not really, no.
I think Christmas is better than Thanksgiving, though.
Thanksgiving's not really. I don't know.
Actually, I might argue Thanksgiving. I think I like Thanksgiving more too.
Okay.
You get the family reunion going. I mean, I guess it depends on whether or not you like your family, but
Yeah.
I'm from Africa, and all we know about Thanksgiving is whatever they show on television, so I definitely personally don't have any inclination towards it.
You guys don't do anything like that?
No, it's unheard of.
wait, there's no Christmas stuff.
No, we have Christmas. We don't have Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's no feasts?
No.
That's right. It's how's there? There's not a harvest holiday.
I don't even think I understand what Thanksgiving is all
It
about.
immediately goes from spooky season to Christmas vibes, Christmas music. There's no Thanksgiving.
I have a theory for that.
That's true.
Thanksgiving, alright, this is the real reason I love Thanksgiving. It's pure. It's just good food and good people most of the time. On average, it's just pure time with your family, pure time to see your family. Whereas Halloween and Christmas are only good because of these made-up fantasies that we have about them. Christmas is basically just cool because of a fake figure, and Halloween is just basically bullshit.
That's true. Everything we like about Thanksgiving is pure. Like you're saying.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's no reason to. There's no
reason to think of Thanksgiving as bad in general in terms of how it started. You know what I'm saying? It also has bad history.
Well, to be fair though, okay, its history is surrounded by bad things, but its history was actually basically the eye of the storm. It was the good part of that period of time. It's when the Native Americans and the colonials came together and said, let's feast.
Before the disease came in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it was our attempt to you know what I'm saying? It was intent. All the bad things that happened when people came to America, I feel like disease was maybe the least intentional. All the other things rape and pillaging, those were pretty intentional and very fucked up. But the disease aspect, it was kind of an accident.
Also, Christmas wasn't built on Jesus. It was instead built on an actual figure that gave stuff to the poor.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's Saint Nicholas. He was a dude that actually gave to the poor, especially kids. So the fact is that's also rooted in good.
Yeah, but it's not even the origin. I think your point was more just
No.
the way we grow up
Yeah.
and the way culture puts these ideas into our head. Thanksgiving's the only one that culture isn't trying to push you to like it.
Besides Pi Day. But it's actually pushing you to not like it. But that's a narrative we'll get into another time. It's a very serious conspiracy theory against Pi Day. Shout out George Bush. But essentially, my take itself was I did very clearly mention, for those who listened, I said in the current day.
Okay. And then also, Thanksgiving has good food. Do you guys not also eat good food on Christmas? Like
It's
tamales, slap.
I don't know if that's a staple in the Christmas food
It
day.
is for like Latino culture.
Latinx.
Yeah, please.
I think what, Ben?
Like, the good part about Christmas, for me at least, is like, for all of December, it's just like good vibes everywhere. Like, okay, I used to listen to air traffic control, like live from, like I just go to the website and listen to them. Anyways, yeah, but like every time like one of the planes took off and they like had to leave their channel or whatever, they'd be like, Merry Christmas. And like, I don't know, that's good vibes. And there's no Thanksgiving vibes. Like,
So you're saying the only
You used to
reason...
listen to air traffic?
Yeah.
I know, that's kind of weird. Why?
it's cool.
There's not
You
enough
like
people in
hear them
Alaska.
and then you can pull up like flight radar or whatever and watch the planes take off. They're like,
Alaska things.
Yeah.
Just Alaska, bro.
It's
Imagine
cool.
having absolutely fucking nothing. Okay, counterpoint though, pumpkin spice. Yep. There's no counter. No.
pumpkin pie, pretty damn good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You can have that at Christmas, but just
But you
who
can't
invented
have
it?
vibes for Thanksgiving.
I would definitely say Thanksgiving food is better.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a given.
I saw a
Yeah.
meme that said the turkey's the worst part of the meal because it's like
Yeah.
the least tasty.
I don't
It's so
like
bland.
turkey.
If you have a bad gravy,
I mean,
yeah.
it depends on you.
Yeah, it depends on the person.
I guess.
I do. Well, you know, some people say chicken is better than turkey.
Okay.
I think turkey is definitely more dry, but they're both like have their strengths.
Right.
Um,
How flavorful can turkey possibly be? I think
It's pretty
You
good.
can get it.
All right.
I thought one of your counter arguments was going to be, I think family arguments are much more bound to happen on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But what my counter argument to that was going to be, that strengthens my point. Because arguments basically just happen with time between people. At least that's my theory. Right? If you just spend a lot of time with
Right.
somebody, you're going to get into an argument. Thanksgiving, you get into an argument because it's more of a family pure holiday. You're spending more time having more thorough discussions with your family. So you're more prone to get into an argument.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, Christmas also places an emphasis on like materialism. Like everything's about getting stuff and
I
doing
don't
stuff.
know. I feel like it's not that much though. Like there's presents, but
What else is there though? Like
I
That's
mean,
why
like
kids
dinner.
like it so much, though.
Kids, yeah,
It's basically
absolutely.
capitalism, just fucking.
Yeah.
But we won't
for
get into
kids,
that.
but I
That's
feel like
what's
it's
the-
less like that. Like
As an
now,
adult,
even
yeah.
now, like
but as an adult, the
18,
good
19.
parts you're describing are what Thanksgiving are known for. Like
Yeah.
the dinner and the family.
You're saying
Yeah.
Christmas is better because it's 85% of what Thanksgiving is.
Yeah.
But
I love the
really-
movies on Thanksgiving too.
Yeah, that's
That's what I'm saying, though. It's pure. You don't need that festivity. You
You do.
need a movie. You need the movie for Christmas to
Bro,
be
I
good.
enjoy the movie. That adds on to the goodness of Christmas.
Nah, bro.
I don't need to listen to turkey gobble gobble on repeat.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Don't fuck with your boy. Don't fuck with your boy right now.
So wait,
No, also, but if you want to fuck around and spend some money, there's Black Friday right after.
Whoa.
that is
So we got the
true.
materialism in there too.
Yeah.
But the materialism
But they're
has
separated.
discounts.
They're separated.
Yeah, it's for yourself usually, not for like other people.
Wait, no, people do
Most
Most,
Black
most
Friday?
people I talk to, they buy stuff for themselves, or they buy it for Christmas.
Ooh.
But
I usually don't spend money on myself. I usually go and actually get stuff for my family because I'm like a charismatic person.
Alright.
When you guys think of Christmas, you think of it as one day. I usually think of it as like a whole week because
week?
it's like winter
Yeah.
break, so it just bleeds out.
I think of it as two. It's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, okay. I guess that's also fair.
I think that's nice too because like at least my family would have the luxury of being in close proximity to each other. You'd see one side of the family
Yeah.
on Christmas Eve and then the other on Christmas Day.
Right.
But Thanksgiving we see both in the same day.
Yeah.
So
I also think it's kind of messed up. Like y'all are talking about the movies like it's a good thing, but I feel like as a kid they're really cool, but they place these like false like
yeah.
fantasies in your head, and when you grow up,
Yeah.
Like
Christmas
what?
is just not that magical. Like it's not like
Real life sucks.
I mean,
It's overhyped. Like, yeah, I see what you're saying.
But what's the hype? Like,
The
Like, all the
movie.
movies and
Oh,
shit.
bro, what are you talking about? What
I
is
mean,
the hype?
like, when you're a kid, you don't. I don't know.
Remember, like,
Like,
Polar
there's still a
Express?
good. Yeah, bro, I watched
Yeah,
that,
that-
every
that
single
made me
Christmas
think, like-
Eve until literally now.
Yeah, but then you grow up and it's just like...
That's every
It's
kid
still
show
good.
after that, right?
Probably
There's no
5 to 10% of people. This is the hype. 5 to 10% of people. These are real stats right here, right from my own brain. 5 to 10% of people have on their phone a counter to Christmas that says 364 days at one point. That's the hype, bro. It's not worth it. You're just building this thing up. It's that the drive from that is not to see your family. You're gonna see your family before then.
No, I don't think it's family thing. Like, I don't. That's not why I like it.
Why do you like it? The gifts,
No, I like
the air traffic control,
Bro,
He
the
likes
air
the
traffic
good
control.
vibes.
The air traffic
the
control.
vibery.
And when I walk outside and there's Christmas lights,
Also the music. I think Christmas has
Yeah,
pretty
Christmas
nice
music.
music. Yeah.
But
It's
there
good.
could be Thanksgiving. I'm just saying
There's
there
not.
should be. The pure at the core Thanksgiving's better.
I guess.
I mean, it's a better. It has thanks in the name, so I mean,
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder. Would you, if you had holidays that were not in winter, would you say that they would be better or worse than winter holidays?
Winter holidays are unequivocally better.
Right, and you
'Cause
think it's
there's
like
less to
because
do.
it's depressing in winter, and then the holidays just feel better, or because they are?
There's just
It's
less
better.
to do, I think.
I guess it's also.
I mean,
true.
there are some holidays.
Like
Right.
4th of July.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe.
Fourth of
It's
July
not a
is
family
just, like,
vibe.
Yeah.
Party vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And to me, that's like, it's just a better Saturday, basically.
That's
Because
right.
you're just gonna, yeah. It's
I mean,
just-
one thing you could argue also is that, like, at least as a student, like, Christmas is nice because winter, there's no stress. Like, Thanksgiving, you still have the rest of the semester.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. That's the hype. That's not the holiday itself.
Yeah, I guess that's also
I
fair.
guess that's
Unless you count the hype as part of the
It's-
holiday.
It's
But
like
that's not
capitalism, the capitalism surrounding it. We don't need to get too deep in here, but it's a good break in the work year.
Yeah.
So it's just basically, yeah. So I think Gokul, like, do we have any other thoughts on this?
I don't know, not really. I think Thanksgiving is definitely superior, but I guess it's 2 to 3 right now.
Final vote, yeah, I think we're gonna go.
Thanksgiving's got no vibes, bro.
It doesn't play the vibraphone, I guess.
Yeah,
but it could, though.
but it doesn't. So
That's crazy.
Plus, Christmas is celebrated everywhere, so I guess, at least.
that's not true.
I mean, okay, it's celebrated. Okay, it's celebrated in more parts of the world than Thanksgiving is.
Our Jewish listeners are fucking.
Oh, I see. Okay.
On another note, though, do you guys think caffeine is a performance-enhancing drug?
What the fuck do you mean by that?
Like, okay, so I'll probably, like, walk into a test. It depends on when it is during the day, too. Like, if it's in the evening, there's, like, a 50% chance I'll buy, like, a Red Bull.
Mhm.
Is my performance unfairly enhanced compared to people who don't buy Red Bull?
I think it's definitely enhanced. Well, it depends on the person, right?
I mean, the fact that it can like keep you awake, I think, therefore it enhances performance.
That's true about
because
food. I mean,
That's
if I
food,
like,
yeah.
if I just went to the test without eating, as opposed to just having a slight snack, then
But
Yeah.
I think you sort of draw the line of how much of a boost it is.
Right. I get
Having
that.
a meal versus not. You could even argue. I could even argue I would do better on a test when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
I just got that fuel inside, that anger, bro. You're ready to go. You're hangry.
Well, do you feel like you perform better when you have coffee, or less because you're jittery?
That's the thing, though. It depends. It's
Subjective.
It's dosing
Yeah.
and stuff. You get a microdose to coffee. I think the important distinction here too that we should make about this argument is sort of like the environment. Here at MIT, obviously, I think even just daily basis, if you're someone that drinks coffee versus, I know for a fact, if I didn't drink coffee, I drink a coffee every night around like 8 p.m. If I didn't drink a coffee then, I'd be falling asleep at like 10 or 11. I'd just be too tired to continue my homework.
Yeah.
So if you're doing that every day, I know it personally enhances my performance.
By definition, I'd definitely say it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it
Yeah.
weird how, like, in the Olympics, like, any performance enhancing drugs are like a problem, but if you went into a test, is it illegal to like take Adderall or some form of drug before
yes,
a test?
it
It
is.
is
Yeah.
before a test.
Well, Adderall's just straight up.
It's not an over the
counter
counter.
prescription.
It's illegal, but it's not like cheating.
Yeah, that's
He's
what I mean.
asking in terms of like, would it be cheating?
Right.
I don't know.
Like you're
if
trying
you-
to elevate yourself above the other students.
If
Right.
you don't have a prescription, I feel like they might see that as
What do you mean? Like so, like
like some people have it for like ADHD. Or
right.
whatever,
But if I took it and I didn't have ADHD, would that be a problem?
Yeah,
Would that
I-
be cheating?
I mean, it'd be up to
Oh.
the school, but
Yeah.
It's different though. I don't know. This is actually really interesting conversation because you can talk about it's basically what is the distinction between leveling the playing field and
Right.
enhancing someone's ability to do something. So
Right.
if you have what could be considered a disability
Right.
from the bar of normal health, whatever you want to call health,
Right.
or even just the normal distribution of whatever. If you move beyond, if you pull something that moves you beyond that, you can call that enhancement.
Right.
But if you're just pulling yourself up to the bar, what is that? Is that enhancement as well?
Right. No, I see what you're saying. I guess that's also fair.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain level, like, of, I don't know, like, you need to make up for people's disadvantages, and there's only so much you can do to assume how much you need to make up for it. But you have to in some way, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like,
Strong point here, though. If everyone is created equal, right? A lot of people have sort of this theory, or at least a lot of people that I've talked to have this theory that everybody is equal in the sense that if you're good at one thing, you're more bound to be bad at the next thing.
Okay.
So say you're incredibly talented at math,
Yeah.
then you're probably less likely to be a world-class sprinter
Right.
or a world-class any athlete or athletic whatever.
Yeah.
Because you only have a certain conserved amount of talent.
Right.
So if you are lacking in one area and you boost yourself there, doesn't that boost you overall? And if all people are created equal,
Ah,
then it boosts.
I see. So in a way, you're not equal anymore.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, say someone's incredibly good at math, but
Right.
they're prone to getting tired,
Yeah.
and then they drink the caffeine,
Yeah.
and then they have both going for them.
Yeah.
Whereas the other kid is not as smart,
Right.
but he can fucking go all day.
Right. Huh.
Whoa.
I guess that also like sort of like touches a little bit on you guys heard of Caster Semenya? She's like the South African athlete who she runs for ladies sprints or whatever it is, but she got banned from it because she got a lot of testosterone. She had a lot of manly features or something like that.
Oh. Naturally?
Yeah, naturally.
That's incredible.
so.
That
I mean,
sucks.
I don't know. I feel like it kind of like bleeds into that.
Wait.
Anyway.
wait, she wasn't like a transgender athlete?
No. She was just naturally female, but was had a lot of masculine features. I think that's yeah. She couldn't because I don't know what the technicalities are, but she was a little too masculine for it. Whatever masculine is.
She
meant to
just
buy.
probably was over the legal limit of
Yeah.
testosterone, but no, I think they do sort of have to have limits like that imposed. It is sort of
unfair.
bullshit though that
Oh,
I don't know,
Then they
it's-
stopped.
it's such a touchy subject nowadays.
yeah.
Wait, Ben, did you ever? I think you sort of grimaced when I made my point about the playing field.
no, I don't.
It does sort of found itself in a theory that is essentially just. I don't know if there's any scientific evidence to back that up that people are actually.
Yeah, I mean
100%
that
equal.
seems not real.
That they're all equal.
It was my grimace,
Yeah.
but
I feel like
Okay.
it kind of is.
I mean,
I mean, then you get into like the nature versus nurture, whatever. Like maybe it's just that you only have a certain amount of time to focus on.
That's true. I've always said sort of it's this combination of your conservation of talent comes from a conservation of time and a
Yeah.
conservation of energy. Like you only have so much time to do something. Your body gets tired after so much time, like energy.
Would you think that if this was an actual rule, conservation of time, do you think that's a species dependent thing? That's to say, are monkeys in a weird way, because they focus too much time on a certain thing, they're a lot better, or at least equal to us in a weird way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, I
Because
didn't
they're
think
way-
you were going to say yes to
they're
that.
probably way more athletic,
right.
way better at
Hunting, yeah,
way better
whatever,
at
whatever they
surviving.
do.
It's relative too, because I'm saying you're born with the capacity to do certain things, whereas
Yeah.
a monkey is maybe not born with the capacity.
Yeah.
Like I'm born with the capacity to refer to myself as I.
Right,
A monkey can't necessarily do that.
I see.
That's true. You probably can't compare that. Like,
That's
other
a-
species line.
We went over this sort of in the first episode. The distinct, like basically, the difference between humans and animals is that we are self-conscious,
Right.
which is pretty cool. Another thing that we wanted to talk about, sort of moving on from the caffeine discussion, is I have another steaming take for the boys to digest. It is that littering is not that bad. Now, hear me out. The purpose of this argument is not necessarily to say that you should be littering instead of throwing things in the trash. That's definitely not good. But I just think that the current way that we dispose trash is not that good. It's not that robust. It's not sustainable at all. Now, recycling, composting, definitely good because you're putting this material back into something that's going to be used. But if you just throw something out, you're just littering. It's just going to be littered somewhere down the line.
I personally just think this is a garbage take, and I don't even mean that as a pun. I just think this is dumb.
Wait, why though? Okay, so what's
I mean,
your reason?
even like outside of the environment, having trash all over the place looks like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm not
That's
saying
not
you
bad
should
for
litter.
the earth, necessarily.
yeah.
Like the earth doesn't care
About
you're-
littering, right?
if there's
It's a
10,000 pounds of trash in whatever.
You're
versus-
just putting all your problems into a closet and trying to forget about them, though. Because
Yeah.
it's still, the earth is still as dirty as it would be if you could see it.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, we made all the shit from the earth. Like, it's not like, I don't know. Like, it's,
Yeah, but it's still really fucking bad.
yeah, no, it definitely is. But also, like, there's stuff that they do in landfills to, like, make it safer.
A little better.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, burn it.
I
Burn
don't
the
know, but
plastic.
they, like, they put, like, I don't know, lining around it and
Do
stuff.
they like compress it and stuff or not?
I mean, it's
Sometimes.
a bunch of it stacked on top of each other, so.
But-
Wait.
A lot of people like to think that it just magically disappears.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's
plebs,
dumb.
the cattle, they just, like, people that don't, like, think about these things, they just throw it in the trash and you just think
Yeah.
that it's fine, it's over. It's going somewhere, and it's probably going to leave the place it goes to.
Yeah.
Things doesn't stay in the landfill. Why do you think so much garbage is in the ocean? It's not
Yeah.
just from people littering.
Yeah.
Well,
but I
a
don't
lot
think
of it, I think, is from like places where they don't have good,
just garbage.
Yeah.
Good
system.
garbage.
like
Garbage
stuff doesn't go out of
infrastructure.
landfills into the ocean. I think it's from
It depends on where I don't know.
right. If it's like not a, I think like here at least, like in the United States, probably I think stuff stays in landfills.
When you say stuff, are you talking about like recyclable stuff or just
Like trash, whatever.
some things that can be they're eaten up by bacteria?
Decomposable?
Stuff?
Like
Yeah,
plastic
decomposable.
stuff or whatever. But I don't, like it doesn't just end up in the ocean. I think that the trash that's in the ocean, I think, is from not putting trash in landfills.
Yeah, but regardless, it's not sustainable
No,
because
I agree.
you obviously you can make the argument heat death of the universe. If you continue using all this trash, it's got to go somewhere and you put it in the landfill. The whole world's gonna be landfills eventually.
I think we should use all the trash to build a second story of the earth.
Yeah.
And put more houses there.
I thought the whole point of like recycling materials, this is all new to me, was that you take the material, all right, and because it's recyclable, you just give it back to whoever's gonna reuse it, kind of like soda
Yeah,
bottles.
but
You
we're
know
talking about trash, not recycling.
what I mean? Oh, so this is non-recyclable
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so non-recyclable.
That's what I was saying. Like recycling is good,
okay.
obviously.
Okay, I see.
But also the amount of, like, I never understand how you just put all your recycling in one. Like, do they actually have people that sort
Filter.
through that?
Yeah.
I always wonder about
Because
it.
people definitely put like food and shit
Yeah.
there on accident.
Yeah.
We as MIT students would like to think of things as you can either basically it would be this learned process where you can basically just take a video camera and split it there. But in actuality, manufacturing, the way things work, is very simple. Like I wouldn't be surprised if someone literally sorts that with their hands,
Okay.
or it just goes into a landfill.
I guess so you're saying like it wouldn't be a problem for them to just like look for apples where apples don't belong or like glass where glass doesn't belong?
What do you mean?
Because like that's what they're saying. It's like if you had like a trash can and you just like accidentally throw glass where the
Yeah.
You think that like it would be easy?
I don't think compost might be a little different because you can't really sort through that.
Right.
But recycling is inherently mixed,
Okay.
and you know that it's mixed, so
Okay.
you have to probably do something. But glass being in compost, I don't think is in the end of the end of the world.
Right.
Really.
I guess.
I don't think anyone's saying littering is bad. Well, at least I don't think most people who say littering is bad are saying it because like they think not littering means the trash just disappears.
I think a genuine lot of people have never thought about the fact that the trash just like
Really?
they think putting this is basically the core of my argument. I think a majority of people think that when they throw something in the trash, maybe less now, but maybe 20 years ago, people didn't really think about this. If you just throw it in the trash, that's the best thing you can do. It's gone. You disposed of it. Whereas littering is you didn't dispose of it. When in reality, they're not that different.
Yeah, it's more of just like an aesthetic, like society functioning.
Right. Yeah, like a cleanliness thing.
Like, yeah.
It's also just crazy how much trash. I don't know. Like, I've been noticing that more and more. There's just so much trash that we...
Yeah. You throw away so much shit every day.
So much stuff
Because
just comes in.
You buy a lot of Amazon stuff, too.
I
Consume for that fucking Christmas, bro. All those plastic toys, baby. Turkey, though, that's all natural.
That's a fair point. Plus, we take down trees during the Christmas, don't we?
It's sort of, there's so many different ways you could solve the problem, too. Because imagine, you could solve it in so many different ways. You could change how you make things, right? We could stop making things out of plastic.
Yeah.
You could change how to create the things that you make. So you could make plastic in a different way. Or even with paper and things like that, you could find a way to grow a tree quicker.
Yeah.
There's probably no way to do that, but whatever. Or you could change the way you dispose of things, where you make sure that everything can be sort of taken care of in some sense.
Right, so you like if there's a way to reverse plastic into its original forms, whatever the hell you combined to make it in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, there's so many different things.
Right, yeah, no, I see.
I mean, like, before we had cheap plastic, it worked fine, so...
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, things are more expensive. Now we have this competitive environment. We need Chinese kids making things for 10 cents. Like, it's just, I don't know. We're sort of in this convoluted place.
Yeah.
Bearkill was also saying we have to cut down trees for Christmas. So yet another point. For
Yeah, I know,
Christmas.
yeah, I was just adding on to that, yeah.
That's true, bro.
Christmas
I don't know.
is killing our earth.
Thanksgiving's up 3-1 now, it looks like. You have to make a comeback like LeBron, you know? I don't know. I just think it's something that needs to be talked about more. Because when I was a kid growing up, I used to say that all the time to my friends, just to fuck with them. I'd say, yo, like, they'd throw something out, and I'd essentially just be like, yeah, you know you're basically littering right now.
Yeah.
Obviously taking it to the extreme to fuck with them, and then I'd get into the actual whole spiel of it, and pretty much most of the time, people would be like, oh, bro, I didn't think of that.
Change their whole perception.
Granted, they're 15,
New
but...
Hampshire for you.
Alright, chill. Alright,
He's come back
fucking
because you went at Alaska.
You guys are the landfill, so...
He spent 5 hours a day listening to fucking...
You're basically the thing
What is
too.
it? I forgot what it's called.
Air traffic?
Air traffic.
Air traffic control.
Try it
That's
someday, bro.
the most egregious thing I've ever heard you fucking say.
It's fun.
How sad were you, bro?
It's fun.
Ben just crying himself to sleep.
You need to smoke salmon.
Smoked salmon, bro.
Nothing like smoked salmon and some air traffic control. Clear for takeoff.
Great
Makes me
Saturday
going.
afternoon right there for you.
Yeah.
In like Las Vegas, they have, what is it, phone sex? In Alaska, they have air traffic control. Call in, fucking put a quarter in, give them your social security number. Ooh wee, that's an evening.
Taxi me to the gate, baby.
Alright, so I think we're going to move on to our next segment. This is installation 2 of the newly recurring segment, Shower Thoughts with Gokul. I have 3 fresh shower thoughts off of Reddit for the week. Alright, so the first one is, a kiss on your boo-boo is everybody's first placebo.
Ooh.
That's, yeah.
Ooh.
I think that's just true, basically.
Yeah.
Alright, so the
Wait,
second...
no. I think, though, it's kind of interesting, though. Do you think you actually thought that worked as a kid?
Yes. Like, I'm absolutely certain.
Deadass.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel pain, so it's different.
I guess it's also because, like...
That would do it.
That's crazy.
Because, like, I mean, there were things that actually worked. So, like, if I ever had hot food in my mouth, my mom would blow my mouth for me. She would just blow it and like, oh, you'll be cool. It's
That's
weird.
weird as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. But it was weird, but it sort of worked. So, you know, I think then you're hardwired to think, all right, whatever your parents do or whatever kisses you is always going to work at all times.
And it's also, like, I think we knew it, physically didn't work. I don't know what it was.
I think there's so much when you're a kid that's like just how other people like
React.
Right,
like
yeah.
like make you know
Because
how
you don't even know,
should
yeah.
react. Yeah.
But some kids, if they're like a toddler, say a kid's 2 years old, they say terrible twos. I hear little kids all the time they'll say, Dad will go, hey, let me kiss it better, and the kid will say, fuck you, basically. They'll be like, that's not gonna do anything. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah,
Once you
that's
get a
true.
little
I
older.
have seen that extreme.
Yeah.
Too. Also, like I feel like I've noticed, especially with, like my cousins, like when they were babies, like they fall down. It's completely dependent on the
Yeah.
parents'
Reactions.
and relatives' reactions, like how they respond. Right?
Yeah, I saw a video the other day. This is actually hella related to this. A little baby, he was having his birthday or something, and there was a cake in front of him, and he put his hand out and he put the candle out with his hand, and you could tell he touched the flame and he didn't really start crying from that. But then everybody at the party went, oh my god!
Yeah.
And the baby just goes, he just open eyes, look at all
Wait,
of them,
is
and
this
just
little
goes,
baby or dough baby?
what? Interrupt my story, bro.
Have you seen the one where there was a dad holding his kid like in his arms, and he's by a door and he's walking, and he smacks the door with a hand that's not holding the baby, bang, and he shakes the baby a little and has the baby think that, oh fuck, it just smacked its own head. All right,
Yeah,
and then he
that's
starts rubbing it, and the baby just starts crying out of nowhere. I was like, "What the fuck, bitch? You didn't get hurt."
What a dumbass too. You know he did that to make the baby start crying.
Yeah, I know. He fucked himself there, but I mean,
Yeah, and I can never tell if it's because like they're like, oh, I can exploit this like situation to get attention,
Yeah.
or if it's like,
They don't.
oh,
know.
I should be hurt. I can't.
I don't
really
think a
tell.
baby is that corrupt. Yes.
I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like when they hit that like 3 to 5 year old space, like they know how to take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, that age
Yeah.
much different. But if you're
if you're like
if you're
1
9
and a
months
half.
old
Yeah.
and you think your mom is dead every time she leaves the room, that shit's actually hella funny to think about.
but didn't you have like shit work for you? For example, like have you ever had like a tummy ache, and someone just rubbed your tummy and it knocked you out? Like you the pain just vanished.
Yeah.
Did that ever work for you guys?
I think that might be a little less.
Placebo, but like actually real.
My mom used to like rub my back.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
it just worked out for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Gokul's top 5 feelings. Call back to last episode. Yeah, so you want to move on?
Yeah. So number 2, procrastinators are some of the quickest workers out there. I don't think this is like a hot take. Like everybody's probably had this thought,
Right.
but like, what do you think? Do you think like procrastinators are actually more efficient in their work?
I think there's some bias with this shower thought because Gokul himself is very lethargic and certainly a procrastinator.
Can be seen in the lounge every day before 006 is due.
This kid does, yeah, bro. Oh my god. I don't know how you guys do. Basically, okay, if you don't go to MIT, we have these things called problem sets, and you have to do one for every class a week. And in our hardest class that me and Gokul are both in, Niko's in it as well, this P set takes basically probably 10 to 14 hours or something like that. And Gokul starts it the night before and we'll finish like an hour before it's due.
Yeah. Also, though, like I don't know if it's that people who aren't procrastinating, like, could they reach that same potential of just like
That's
doing
what I
work
was
super
wondering.
fast? Like, is it the pressure that makes procrastinators efficient, or are procrastinators just more efficient?
I see.
I think it's the pressure.
Pressure.
Like,
Definitely.
do you think like? Yeah.
It's the idea of finite time, right? Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I
Yeah.
was gonna hit on that too.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Burke loves Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's another conversation we can have. It's almost sexual, his love for her. But
Everything's almost sexual.
his theory is that, the theory is essentially that capitalism would sort of fade if everybody was immortal, right? There'd be no drive to succeed or anything like that.
Yeah.
Whereas procrastination is the same thing on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
If you have, essentially, if I start the homework a week before it's due and Gokul starts it the night before, he has much less time. It's basically if you only had 20 years to live versus you have 80 years to live.
Yeah.
Right.
The 80-year-old person's gonna, overall, they're probably gonna accomplish more. Like the person
But,
who
like,
does it
on
earlier
average.
might learn more. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Your perspective is going to be completely different, right?
Yeah.
But also, like, if we're discussing efficiency, you know, along with the time pressure, yeah, sure, you can do whatever work you're doing in that limited time, but how well are you actually doing it?
That's exactly what I'm
Yeah.
saying. The
Yeah.
80-year-old thing versus the 20. Their
Yeah.
concentration, the 20-year-old's gonna do more stuff during that time.
Right.
But the person who lived 80 years is gonna definitely learn more.
Right.
Assuming they accomplished it, like if they accomplish the same.
Yeah, same thing.
The 80-year-old will probably end up accomplishing more, but. Rip. I think that's definitely a very good point, though. Nico, do you have any thoughts on this? Also being somewhat of a lethargic thinker.
Major procrastinator.
Baker.
Yeah, I think it's just really the time deadline that you complete it. I think quicker, in terms of so you're efficient in that sense. But I think you also cut corners. Like when I have a piece that's due right away,
Yeah.
I typically go, okay, I could skip this part kind of.
Yeah, but speaking of the 80-year-old versus 20-year-old thing, kind of segues into our third shower thought.
Mm-hmm.
As a child, McDonald's was a treat, and as an adult, it's a sign of poverty and desperation.
I saw something that sounded a lot like that. Actually, my friend sent me something like that. Like how when you were a kid, you thought $100 was a lot of money. I mean,
Yeah.
relatively, right? But now is, I don't know. Well,
Not that
depends.
much.
Yeah, right. Not that much.
They say the adult dollar bill is $20. Which
Right,
is
right.
so subjective
Right.
because what do you do for work?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to. I was like lightly.
Yeah, it's so. I think it's just a difference in scale.
But once you have to buy food, it's so much different.
Right.
Yeah,
Like $100 is still you can buy a decent amount of things with it. But if you have to spend it on food, that's a week
Right.
of lunch or something.
I guess it's also
what the
I'm
That's an
sorry.
expensive one. Week of meals. How about that?
Yeah, even that's kind of a lot.
That is, yeah.
I guess it's also true though that when you're a baby, you're new to the world. So, or when you're a kid, you're new to the world. So everything you see fucking excites you just because it's new to you.
Like Bearcat right now.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Eric, always excited.
But then at a certain point, then you try other food and other food's better, and there's lots of new exciting options. So I guess it's also how frequently you've been exposed to it.
For me, this is a really difficult one to unpack because I quite honestly can't really think of a good reason for why it's a sign of poverty when you're an adult, but you like it as a kid.
Right.
Do you think it's oriented towards kids? Because if the quality in your mind should stay the same, then it should inherently stay the same.
I think
Right.
it's just the thing where when you're a kid, your parents wouldn't let you get it that much or whatever.
Yeah, it's
And then
also
when you're an
probably
adult, you can go get it, but you shouldn't.
That's a good point
Right.
because when you're a kid, you have no money for anything, and it's basically the last thing your parents want you to eat.
Yeah.
If they're considering your health over their own pockets, and they hopefully they have the ability to at least. Whereas when you're an adult, it's the most accessible thing, so it completely switches sides in the scale.
Right. It'd be so much easier to just go to McDonald's, but you're know that's.
But I think when you're a kid, it genuinely tastes good.
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
you, do you think you like your home cooking? Well, whatever you were raised eating at home, as opposed to McDonald's, for example.
No, definitely not. But
You like McDonald's more than your home cooking?
yeah, for
Really?
sure.
Interesting. Because I
Not for
don't.
me, but
Yeah, I know some
I-
people have the other way.
I do think though that maybe when you're a kid, just that fatty unhealthy food doesn't take as much of a toll on your body. When you're grown up, I feel you feel shittier after that kind of food, physically.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't really feel that as much. We're still pretty young. You can pretty much eat whatever you want till you're 30, I think.
Yeah. I do.
But no, for sure. What was I gonna say though? Something along those lines of McDonald's and things.
No way.
What?
It was obviously
Obviously
something.
something. It's fucking weird. It's a weird relationship between being a kid and an adult.
And also when you're a kid and you get McDonald's, it's your parents doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you're grown up, it's you copping out of putting effort into
Right.
a meal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was trying
It's
to say.
you're being lazy.
Yeah.
It's not like you're-
lazy
it's not like
and
your
you know that
parents-
it's unhealthy.
Yeah, when you're a kid, your parents are doing something that you don't usually do.
Right.
When you're grown up, it's something that you're.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You should
Yeah.
expect them to do.
You're trying to convince yourself to not go to McDonald's, probably.
Exactly.
And then.
I'm gonna digress here a little bit, but so now how Disney Plus just came out. I'm a big if
Big
you haven't got it,
Disney guy,
you better get it right. So what I've heard, at least what I've seen on Instagram, is a lot of the shows you were once watching as a kid were all all nice, and they come on TV every whatever time they were scheduled, but now you have them all packed, and I can't tell if the humor is if the thing you were watching actually kind of sucks. So in this case, the McDonald's quality would actually not taste that good, or it's just the fact that now you have it all with you that it's not as fun to watch anymore. Does that kind of make sense?
Kids shows?
Yeah, like Disney Plus. For
Okay,
example.
so you're trying to say that we liked it as a kid because it was this like hype build up
Yeah.
to the new ones?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think
Really?
the quality is actually pretty bad.
Oh, okay. So
Because I bet
Overall.
if you watch, it's basically think about parents when they're seeing it for the first time and stuff like.
Yeah.
They don't laugh at all. you
yeah,
know?
yeah, that's actually very true.
Which also, I mean, they just don't care, but it's still just not funny. I think it's catered to a certain audience for a reason.
Right. That's kind of sad.
Well, also, I don't know about you guys, but like Happy Meals is also a thing. And that's
What?
just- like Happy Meals.
Oh, so you're saying McDonald's is also catered to? Is
yeah,
that your
yeah,
point?
yeah. That's what. Like as a kid, that was part of it, like the toy and
Yeah.
all that stupid.
It is depressing as fuck to think about like a 40-year-old single man getting off work or for lunch just going to McDonald's.
Getting a Happy Meal.
Not a happy. Well,
That's what I thought he meant.
that's almost. I think that's just ridiculous. But doing
Bearcat would do that kind of shit.
Bearcat would definitely do that.
Yeah.
But a plausible example of just a McChicken and a McDouble or something, I think that's pretty sad to think about.
I don't know
I mean-
about poverty and desperation though. I feel like that's
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah, that's
exaggerated.
maybe just like
It's more like just like being
Desperation.
kind of
you're just being a little lazy. that
like you're
day
not
or
taking
whatever.
care
I
of
mean,
yourself.
just sometimes like you want McDonald's though. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Right.
genuinely.
So it's like, is that you're treating yourself technically in that case?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that would. I think that's gonna fade though.
You don't think of ever?
I think most times people get fast food. It's at least when they're adults. It's not for that reason. It's more just like
For your kids.
Yeah.
no. It's just like a quick thing. Like
Yeah,
you
like
know,
you're driving somewhere
I
or
see.
something.
I used to eat McDonald's probably twice a week. When I first got my license, I would go probably before work. If I had work like at 3:30 or some shit right after
Yeah.
I got out of school, I'd stop at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I loved it, right?
Yeah.
And then on Fridays with my friends, we'd go there too. I haven't had McDonald's in like 6 months, and I do not want to go to McDonald's. And I also still don't have that much money. But, so it's not, I don't know. Do you think it has to do with the price tag and sort of societal implications of it being a $1 meal versus $7?
Right. No, that definitely is an influencing
McDonald's
factor.
is not even that cheap though.
Yeah, it's really not. I was
When
gonna
we've
say-
ordered it, it costs just as much as anything else.
It's because we Uber Eats it though.
You also order a lot, get it on delivery,
Yeah.
and it's
that's true.
changed over time.
Yeah.
I would also argue though that like maybe it's not even price, but just like McDonald's has a connotation of unhealthiness, right?
Yeah, that's a good
Compared
point.
to any other fast
Yeah.
food.
And when you're a kid, you love that. And then
Yeah.
that sort of goes back to your point of the health thing. We can eat it when we're young, but we
Yeah.
can't eat it when we're
You're not like watching your weight when you're
Yeah.
6 years old.
never watching the weight, bro. Being fat is a sign of luxury. You're living a luxurious lifestyle if you're chubby.
When you said this.
It's
'Cause
facts though.
I have heard of it like being used in books as well too. Just like it's
In the Hunger Games.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's probably what it was.
I thought of it before then though. I was always sort of, why is that? Me and my friends used to talk about this in middle school. We'd say, why does everybody want to be fat? And
Yeah.
this kid used to tell me that he thought being fat was going to be the next phase, or phase. be the next phase. It was going to be cyclical in the sense that everyone wanted to be skinny this decade.
Right.
But in the 2020s, people would want to be fat.
You just watched Wally.
He's like, yo, that's the future.
Yeah.
Bro.
But I always just thought of it as, why is it, you should want a little meat on your bones. It shows that you can sort of afford good food and stuff.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Or just be fit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Why is skinny isn't inherently attractive though, I guess. A lot of people would argue too. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
there's certain body types.
Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like being fit is like biologically attractive, but just being super skinny, it has been like at some points in pop culture like the attractive thing, like
Yeah.
unhealthily skinny, right?
But honestly, like you should the best version of yourself is like the version that you like. So like, yeah,
Amen. Preach,
That's
brother.
true.
yeah.
Wholesome vibes from
You
the
should be the-
podcast tonight.
Best version of yourself. You're all beautiful, mostly.
Especially if you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Especially if
you're
you're
definitely
listening.
beautiful.
Yeah.
If you're a YouTube subscriber, you are beautiful. All right, boys. I think we're gonna wrap it up here for today. Very lovely episode number 5. So once again, check us out on YouTube. Tell your friends. Share this on your social media. Tell them in person. The hype is real. The Lounge Podcast is lit, amongst other superlatives. So that was all for today. Thank you for sticking with us. Have a good week.